Hi everyone, and welcome to this presentation about the Bachelor program in Humanities, also called Global Humanities. My name is Jacqueline Maria Bille-Kelsen, and I'm a student counselor here at Roskilde University. The structure of the program in Global Humanities is a 3-year program. The first 1.5 years is a basis program. In these years, you will learn about the broad areas of humanities. This will include learning within culture, within philosophy, within language, and within learning and psychology. The last 1.5 years will be where you specialize in 2 bachelor subjects, which you choose from. One which has to be within the humanistic area. This is the course of studies at the Global Humanities program. It's a 3-year program with 2 semesters each year. In the first year, you will have this broad framing of the humanistic area. You will have a course called Science and Philosophy, Text and Sign, Subjectivity and Learning, and Culture and History. Beside these projects, you will also have what is called progression courses, which is courses with methods, theory of science, and techniques of how to do a project work. Because a project work is quite essential in all these 3 years during your bachelor program at Roskilde University. Half of your studies will actually go to these project works where you go in on a field that you find quite interesting and make a gigantic project at the end of each semester with a project group. This will be continually done over the 3 years at Roskilde University. On your 3rd semester, on your 2nd year, you will have the possibility to choose the 2 subjects that you find the most interesting to have on your bachelor degree. On your 4th and your 5th semester, you will have 1 semester completely with one of the subject and the next one with completely the other subject. At the 6th semester, it's time to finish your degree. You'll make a bachelor project within the humanistic field. You will also have the possibility to have elective courses where you can specialize in what you find the most interesting. So which bachelor subjects can you choose? You can choose communication studies, cultural encounters, and social psychology of everyday life. It's very important that you combine one of these subjects with another subject. It doesn't necessarily have to be these subjects. For example, you can also combine with subjects from the social science fields. However, there are some limits of what you can choose, so it's very important that you look up on rook.dk what you can combine or in the study guide. This is an example of a weekly schedule if you're a first semester student at the Global Humanities program. There's set time aside for going to the physical courses and actually having to get education from a professor who is lecturing you. This is, for example, on Monday, where you can see that there's a course called Text and Sign. Afterwards, you might be able to set time aside for actually making assignments or preparations for courses later on in the week. In this schedule, there's also set a time aside to prepare for your group work. So there's set time aside both for having a group meeting with your group, but also to read up on what you should discuss and make in your project work. As you can see in this weekly schedule, a lot of the time on your bachelor program goes into yourself and goes into yourself being responsible for actually reading up and doing this assignment before you meet up at the courses. The courses take up a limited space compared to the amount of time that you need to use yourself to actually educate yourself before meeting up at the courses or at the project work with your project group. This gave me a very good transition from going from being a pupil at a high school, for example, to going to being a student at a university site. The very big difference is that when you're a student, you take the own responsibility for your education and the knowledge you want to gain. There's a desire for contemplation and cooperation with your project mates. Furthermore, you actually investigate on the subjects that you want to look into, and you give and receive criticism from your peers. Furthermore, it's self-discipline and preparation, which is quite essential in being a student at Global Humanities. Structure and planning of the courses and your time is essential for having this work. In conclusion, it's very important that you're an active co-creator of your own education and your own profile and competencies. Besides the academic part of being a student at Roskilde University, there's also the social part. RUC has a living campus site with a large opportunity to actually engage in the volunteer environment and engage in the different organizations present at the campus site. Example given, we have a student house given to the students where you can go down with your peers, drink some coffee, have a sip of soda or beer, and play board games and chill and make studies with your fellow peers. Furthermore, we have different organizations responsible for the student political part of the campus sites. So if you're interested in climate demos, for example, there's a large opportunity for that. We also have a lot of different organizations in charge of the social part of being a student at Roskilde University. This includes the tutoring, which welcomes new students to the bachelor programs. It also includes the annual party, a large party always held in September for the new students. As you can see, there's a lot of possibility to engage in both social and academic committees. It's only up to yourself that you want to participate in these committees. How to create your own education at the Global Humanities program. First of all, to specialize your own education, you can choose the 2 bachelor programs. You also have the possibility to make your education unique with the projects that you do throughout your education. This can include fieldwork out in the world. It can also include working with companies or organizations that you find interesting. Furthermore, you have the 2 optional courses on your 6th and last semester to specialize in, and you also have the choice to choose a student job or an internship that you find the most interesting. All of these different factors are something that will help you create a unique profile for yourself. If you want a more international perspective on your education, you are now in the right place because you're in the International Bachelor in Humanities program, HIP Global Humanities. There's also the possibilities to choose a language profile, which is an extra part of your bachelor program which you can take on the side of Global Humanities. Here you can learn to speak French, German or Spanish according to what level you are at the moment. Furthermore, there's a large possibility to go on an exchange abroad. RUC has a lot of collaboration with other universities, both in the north, in the rest of Europe, and overseas. If you don't want to take one of those possibilities, there's also the possibility to make a self-arranged exchange out in the world. Furthermore, there's also the field work where you can go and travel abroad to make field work within your project groups. After you finish your bachelor program in Global Humanities, this 3-year education, you have the possibility to apply for starting up at a master degree. This is a 2-year education that will end up in you writing a master thesis concerning a subject. This can be either a master in Roskilde University or at another university in Denmark. It just has to be within the field that you're already studying. I just want to thank you for watching this video about Global Humanities and very good luck with your application and choice of education.